So we are now recording July 21st, 2017. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I forgot to say Small Business Accounting Advisors. So we're talking about what happens when the internet's down. What do you do? And panic is not the answer, Dennis.
You know, some of the better UPS units do provide some protection, or you can buy those special shunt devices that you plug into the wall and then you plug your computer into that. But
that only helps you locally. It keeps your computer from frying.
Right.
If the service itself is down, like Peggy was saying, Comcast was down.
Oh no.
How many hours yesterday?
It was about 6 or 7 hours without, 6 counties were without internet service. Cable period. The internet and the TV service, everything was down. You could say someone had a
Good news is everybody else is down too.
So I don't feel so bad, right?
Well, it depends on what you mean by everyone else. With the virtual world, we're much wider. So it's not going to be everybody across the United States. It's going to be everybody in your area.
I read these novels about what they call an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, and that actually affected the satellite stuff about 2 years ago. And we weren't getting any of our voicemails for like any of the wireless providers that went through satellite signals and that. And that, like, we didn't get voicemails for, like, we were getting them 5 or 6 days after people sent them.
Wow. That must have been what happened to me yesterday. The Earth was going through an electromagnetic storm.
Yes.
The sunspots?
Yes. Well, actually, this was a CME. This was one of those.
Does anybody know how your voicemail on your phone gets a password on it? Because when I try to go get my voicemail now, it says there's a password, and I never put a password on.
Check settings.
No, if it's AT&T, you just have to call them.
Oh, really?
Okay. It's probably just the last 4 digits of your phone number if you never said it.
Comcast does that. Comcast does that.
Time Warner and Spectrum. It's not. I never had a password on my voicemail.
Or try your 4 years that you were born 19, whatever you was born.
Well,
what you were born 1972, something like that.
Now, this is a new security thing. AT&T did that to me too. I got a voicemail from my doctor, and I couldn't hear it because they put a password on my phone and didn't tell me. And I know, isn't that lovely? Of course, the one time, right?
Wonderful.
Hey, you get the serious disease, you need to get in as soon as possible, right?
Right.
Life-threatening.
So
your test came back bad.
I had to call support. Yes. So who was asking about, it was Adam. Adam was asking about the new wholesale pricing for QuickBooks.
The what?
New wholesale pricing for QuickBooks.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, I told him we talked about it with Brandon like a couple weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago, Brandon, that we were talking about the IRP pricing.
Right.
Right, and we get it at wholesale, and we can match Amazon. But so yeah, we do have wholesale pricing, but right now Amazon's pricing is ours, but we can match it.
Nice.
Brandon, you missed some off your face. What happened?
Brandon got a haircut.
I got in a fight with my weed eater.
Had a fight with your weed eater.
That
the weed eater won.
Did your weed eater cut your hair? And your mustache, too.
Yeah, it's all gone. I told you it won.
So you're trying to cool down, huh?
That'll
It
work.
is hot.
It is. Yeah.
It is hot.
I don't know. I ain't been out the house since yesterday, so. But anyway,
Out of the house in the morning and evenings.
I'm in Florida. I don't go out during the summer.
I don't blame you. I'm in Pennsylvania, and it's too hot around here. We are in the upper 90s and humid. It's very, very humid. That's the killer part.
Right.
Yeah, humidity.
It is here too.
That's in the house. If I don't have to go to work, I don't go out.
Is
So,
me?
but the pricing.
What about the pricing? I think
What are the prices for IRP for those same things that's going up in the wholesaling? I know the wholesale prices. I saw that, but our IRP prices are going to stay the same.
IRP pricing can now match wholesale and Amazon. So we can match
Right.
that.
Our prices are pretty much set about 40% from, so our MAP pricing, which is, that's the lowest advertised price that we can do is $200. Now we can sell it at any price. We're just not allowed to advertise it under that. Now retail price is $299, $99, $300, but we can sell it anywhere, even if we want to take a loss on it, which obviously we wouldn't. But I mean, I usually sell it. I can sell it at $220 just about all day long. But what I've been doing lately is I make no money off of it, but it does help our team's sales numbers. Is if we match Amazon pricing, then I'm the hero for them, and then I can provide the installation and training services,
Right.
And take payroll or merchant service on top of that. But that's what I've been doing.
Right, right.
Are you talking desktop? I was talking about the online wholesaling.
Oh, for
Online
QuickBooks
or
Online?
desktop? Online or desktop, Brandon?
Prices on that's going up too. That's why I'm asking.
You're fading in and out, Peggy.
But that is me.
So she was asking about pricing for desktop versus online.
So the QuickBooks Online pricing, what they changed it to is we can offer 50% off. And so anytime a QuickBooks Online pricing changes, we can still give 50% off for the first year. And then it goes up to retail price. That's the same deal that the accountants channel has. The only difference is, so really the whole option, our competition, to be totally transparent, our competition is those that are in the accountants channel that want to offer it and then do the accounts receivable. They can offer it for 50% off, and then they can sell it for however much they want to, and get whatever the markup is, if that makes sense. So if you want to offer at retail, you can buy it half off and then get that markup, but then you're obligated to do the accounts receivable for your customers. So the difference is you're selling it through our channel. You sell it at 50% off. That's what your customer gets for 1 year, and then it goes up to retail. But you're not obligated to do and then you get a commission in our channel. You get a commission for making that sale.
Okay.
Who's doing their QuickBooks?
I
Not
am.
me.
Okay.
Not me.
Can you either turn off the sound or mute? We're hearing every time you enter a transaction.
I'm not doing it on this computer, so I can mute the sound. Not a problem.
Thank you. That sound becomes so automatic you don't even hear it anymore.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Cedric. Nice to have you with us.
Hey.
Yes.
Since this is your first time, would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, my name is Cedric West. My wife and I, we started our CPA firm about 3 years ago called CS West and Associates. And this is my lovely auntie here, Miss West. And she invited me to this group, and Really, I'm here to learn from you all, to share my experience, to, just to get a good idea of what it's like being a full-time, bookkeeper owner or CPA firm owner. Because right now I'm working full-time and I'm coming home late at night just to build my business and build the brand. And so I just want to learn from you guys, get some experience from you, and then share the wealth as well.
Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to have you with us. We are all about sharing our experiences. There is no right way, no wrong way. Whatever way works for us. Each of us are different and have our own ways of doing things. So, that's what makes us so great, I think. That we don't have just one set way of doing things. What one person may be strong in, another person may need help. What somebody needs help in, they'll find somebody that has had that problem and that knows a solution for it. So
okay.
And we all want to celebrate our successes also. Peggy has just graduated, so we, say yay, Peggy.
No, 2 more days.
Yay, Peggy.
2 more days?
You're done. You're done already. Don't worry about it.
Last night, Tuesday, no more class, no more book work, just burn it. I'm going to have a bonfire. Everything dealing with school, I promise. I'm going to have a huge bonfire. I don't know. I said, I'm not going to. So you guys do not look for me the first couple of days because I'm going to be sitting over there doing something I ain't got no business. I'll be doing something. You won't be on the computer, though. I don't even want to look at the computer when I get off work.
I think that's a well-deserved break. You deserve it.
I'm probably lying. I'm probably lying. Knowing me, I'll be right.
You won't be able to stay away from us.
I'm staying off the computer those 2 days.
So Sarah, are you with us? Can you talk? We see your picture and you're muted.
Her chat said that she's saying goodbye to her brother. She would join us in a minute.
What happened to her? She got hit with thunder or something? Lightning?
Lightning twice.
Wow.
You have to hear that story. She'll be joining us in a minute, and I'm sure that we'll hear all about it.
Yikes.
So, yeah, what do you do when the internet goes down? Yes, hotspot is one thing. Going to a local area like the Starbucks, McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. Many of the restaurants around here have free Wi-Fi.
You might want to get a MiFi for security. Although if you use your phone as a hotspot, I think you're secure.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's getting less and less.
Pardon?
What is MiFi?
MiFi is a little device that is basically, they're pretty expensive, and you can use your hotspot for a lot of it, but it's basically a way of connecting to the internet securely because it has its own security code. So you're not using a public internet that could be hacked.
And some people use them if they have a poor internet connection. There are still places in this country that do have very poor internet. So I'll be joining it's called a co-op, a business co-op, in a couple months where I'm joining as on demand. So I can go in at any time and use their internet. It's like an office building. I can go in and use their printer and whatever else that they have. So I'm looking forward to that.
Here's what a MiFi. Here's what a MiFi looks like.
Oh.
I don't use it anymore.
Hold it up again. Okay, go ahead.
It's basically you turn it on and then you can charge it and you hook to this.
Hold it up higher. There we go.
Good. Dennis, would that work when you're driving in your car?
I never tried it. Maybe.
Why would you want it to work while dangerous, ain't it?
When you're driving, that's why I said to Cedric, please be careful.
Well, I know they have a law in the state of Washington that you get in big trouble if you're.
And Brandon's always driving when he comes and
Brandon
sees
does
us.
it all the time.
I'm
Always on the
office
move.
today.
Yeah, Brandon does it all the time. Gina, you know what? Though, I've been in touch with the economic development guy over here in my area because we used to have what's called a business incubator, where business owners can come in and rent the offices for certain amounts of time and do their business and go home. And I have been in touch with someone to see if I can get one started back up in this area right here. I didn't know they call it a co-op though. That's interesting.
Well, that's just what they're calling it around here. And for that very reason, I very rarely at this point visit with clients. I do most things virtually, even, you know, when I'm supporting or looking at their QuickBooks. Zoom allows you to assume control. So, yeah, I use Zoom and I record it. So I like that. But there are still clients and there are still times when people actually want to meet with me face to face. And when you're talking complicated situations like inventory and when you have to have a lot of papers around, you know, then it's more feasible to do it in person. But a lot of times I'll use Dropbox and have the Dropbox papers or statements or whatever open on one computer, and I'm Zooming with them and in their QuickBooks on the other computer. So we're both looking at the same thing, so I can help them reconcile their checking account and do that virtually without having to actually meet them.
Is that an option you offer to new clients, or is it just your older clients that you've had for a while they're used to you stopping by? Because I don't normally offer that to new clients.
Both, actually.
Really?
But you're right, it does depend entirely on the client. My most recent one, the client was very insistent that she wanted to meet in person, and we did try that. We went to, we have a place called Victory Brewery. So we went, but they have free Wi-Fi, so we went there. Her computer was so slow, the internet connection was so terrible that it really was virtually a wasted session. So the next time I talked to her, I said, look, let's just do it virtually. Oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I said, just relax. I'll be talking to you on the phone the whole time. I'm going to send you a link by email. All you have to do is click it and follow the prompts. So,
right. How long has she been in business?
Pardon?
Is she a long-time business? I'm thinking a new business probably couldn't survive.
No, she was fairly new. She is in the janitorial field.
Oh, okay.
So, and plus she doesn't have a whole lot of money for a whole lot of, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice. Zoom, I've used Zoom now with 5 new people that have never used it before, and none of the 5 people had any trouble getting on.
Nice.
I had a little bit of trouble because I had the headphones plugged in and I couldn't hear the guy because I didn't have the headphones in my ears. And the sound was going to the headphones, not coming out of my computer. The other thing I learned is when you switch from sharing one part of your screen to sharing another part of your screen, you have to actually stop the screen share, go out of it, and then go back into the new screen share.
Right.
You know, it's really pretty easy. I'm glad you're alive there, Sarah.
Yeah.
I had to come over here.
Hey.
So tell us, how you doing?
Oh my God. Well, that was my brother that I was finishing up with. He owns the alarm company so I need an all new alarm system.
Yeah.
Well, for y'all that don't know, Sunday, a lightning storm popped up suddenly and was crashing all around. And I have my home, and then next to my home, I have the offices. So it's a separate wing. And we heard the big crack, and ran to the side of the house. We're looking out the window. We see that I have 100-foot pine trees. So not even in the woods, not on my property. It hit the pine trees. You can see it just do that stripe all the way down.
Oh.
And so Mark ran to the office, and I unplugged printers and things like that, and it crashed, did it again. And so I had unplugged the printers, but it came in through low voltage. So everywhere there was a phone line, network cable, so routers, switches, my brand new firewall, the phone system's fried, one phone, Karen's machine, Angela's machine, the server's okay, mine's okay, the fourth machine's okay. And so we're all, going crazy about that. So Mark, fortunately I have an IT husband. So he was able to run to work, got a machine that I could borrow for Karen. I took the fourth machine and we built it for Angela. He went and bought some, borrowed parts, got the old firewall sonic wall out of the attic. And anyway, and then we had, blew the network cable in my printer. So we had like USB cables all across. Anyway, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, he has us limping along. Internet's back, not in the house because it killed all the wireless stuff. And we can go to work Monday morning, right? I go in to go to bed. The wallpaper is blown off my bathroom wall.
Wow.
The shower head is like, and underneath the toilet where the pipe is, the wallpaper's like, there's big chunks of wallpaper all over the floor. And everywhere there's a nail in the sheetrock, there's like this little peep, peep. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, is it? So our AC system was blown. We thought it hit the well, but we were messing with trying to see if it got the well pump. But what it did was when it came across the backyard, it hit the sprinkler line.
Jeez.
And so it blew the sprinkler line out of a 2-foot gusher, blew out a head, blew out the whole sprinkler system. And there's like soot at my light switch. The light switch in my bedroom runs the spotlights. And the spotlights are all blown. The one on the corner of the house is the light bulb's hanging.
Wow. Wow. So homeowners going to take care of this?
I got homeowners for the stuff in the house. I've got my business insurance for the business. So business is great. They're like, he even said, you list every UPS you have. I don't care if they're working, throw them away.
Right.
And I've got like a 1,500 unit for the server. I mean, he's like, throw it away, put it on the list. And that's only a $500 deductible. The house is $1,000 deductible. So the whole week has been, so Monday morning I get blown to hell again. And then we're still finding things like, he said, watch, light bulbs will start blowing. A couple days later, light bulbs were going. And then it occurred to me, we hadn't checked the hot tub. It's not on. So anyway, so how do you protect your office when it didn't come in through the power line? I have surge protection on the house. I mean, if lightning wants to get in your house, it will get in your house. And when your grandmama tells you not to take a shower during a lightning storm, listen. That's wrong. Monday, it's like crack, crack, crack all the way around, and Mark's running around screaming, no, I was up all night, right? And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. As soon as I sat on that toilet, it went crack, and my whole face buzzed. It was like, and I thought, I'm going to die on the John.
Oh, no. No.
I'm sitting over a bowl of water now.
What a way to go.
Oh, my God. So
you guys are okay. That's what matters. You guys are safe.
Yeah, here's what we're going to do. All right. I can find a refurbished phone system so I don't have to get all new phones. But it's still going to be, with voicemail and all that fancy parts, it's still like $1,600.
Right.
Wow.
For the same price, I can go with this voice over something system where the your
Voice
phone
over Internet Protocol, VoIP.
Right.
What?
Well, I was hedging because I was like, internet, and the internet goes down, then I don't have phones and all that. But after we had a long talk this morning, and because I've got like 8 phone lines. I mean, 8 phones. You know.
Actually, I was concerned when I went to VoIP also for the very same reasons.
How's it working?
And when my cable is out, I do have no phones. But
well, we're keeping the house line, so I still have the copper. I still have a phone. That's what'll be connected to the fire department and all that stuff. So worst case, I have a phone. But here's the thing: we're gonna go from desktops to laptops.
Yeah.
Docking stations, so they would dock it, and then they still have their big keyboard and their dual monitors and all that fun stuff. But in case of hurricane or they just want to work from home, they can actually grab their laptop and the phone. They grab the phone, they go home, and if they've got internet at home, if somebody calls the company and presses 2 for Karen, it's going to ring in Karen's house.
nice.
Right? If you think about remote workers, that is pretty cool. I could use Bev in Iowa and have press 3 for Bev and it would ring in Iowa and nobody would know it.
Right, right. So pretty soon your workers are going to say, can I work at home?
Well, they do. They're really not supposed to work here, but they do. Like Karen usually works at home Thursdays and Fridays, and Angela's been working home more and more. It depends on what the kids are doing. Sometimes they want to come over here because it's quiet.
Right, right. They're not interrupted as much.
There's days when my husband's running around screaming because of the lightning.
Well, only when the lightning's happening.
So here's the thing. I was planning on all new computer equipment. I already did the new server last year. So I was going to do workstations in 2018. I'm not talking to you, computer. Mark bought this funny little machine that you talk to.
Oh, okay. Alexa?
Okay. And so he programmed it to be like Star Trek. So we go, computer. Computer. Don't play any music. Oh, no!
I can't hear it.
Did you hear? It just said, it thought I said play some music. It says, well, here's a station you might like. Computer, off.
Shut up.
It's creepy as hell. That's so creepy.
Well, it'll keep you from feeling lonely.
Well, my housekeeper, she comes in and she goes, computer, Motown. and then I was going, I go, computer, louder. That's great music going. So.
Nice.
Oh so you guys were talking about zooming around, right?
Yes.
Zoom. So this morning I have a nonprofit that I've had for a long time. We have a new executive director, a new artistic director, and I hadn't met with the treasurer in a long time. And so I said, hey, Zoom. So it was great. We had all of us and my bookkeeper and everything, and we just talked through, because all of a sudden I was getting emails that they were changing the website and moving off of Square to Stripe and dropping PayPal, because we use PayPal for one thing and Square for something else. And here's the thing, she's a marketing person and she went to town on the website and it came with Stripe, and then she says, oh, and it works with this thing called Xero, so we need to use Xero. And I'm like, what?
Stop.
Oh, stop. Yeah. You gotta have a little powwow. And so she was gracious about it. But I said, okay, let's all get on the same page. We're not changing accounting systems. No.
And why would they decide to go to Stripe other than it comes with the website? I mean,
that was the only reason.
You really have to look at cost for those kind of things.
I don't know. So I said, I don't know. So, but the point is, I need to be involved with anything that eventually affects the checkbook. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I was able to pull up my screen. Let's pull up the financials, look at all the different budgeted areas in revenue. Not just ticket sales. What kind of ticket sale? What kind of donation? Sponsorship? Which event? Restricted, non-restricted. Oh, we're selling, you know, blah, blah, blah. I got sales tax. Okay. So once she saw all that, I said, so I showed her everything that we needed. And then what we ended up doing, this is going to be cool. I need to make a video on how to do this. I don't know why I keep putting it off. I was able to take a smart sheet. All y'all know about smart sheet? I know everybody. Cedric, maybe?
No.
Cedric's new. He's never
Cedric,
heard of
yeah.
smart sheets.
Smart sheet's like Excel on steroids.
That's a good definition for
And
it.
it's like collaborative. So I can design it any way I want with columns and rows in each cell, and I can make it change colors. And I can have a conversation on a row, a little chat thing going. I can attach documents. Anyway, I can make a web form with a URL that will feed right into a smart sheet. So I designed one that has all the information in it that I need for a sales receipt, even some hidden stuff like the sales code, sales tax code, stuff like that.
Right.
Put that in, but I have it in the background. So I tried this out with one client who they have a volunteer who opens all the mail. She opens the mail and logs in on my little form every check that she gets in the mail.
Nice.
It's feeding to my spreadsheet. Then whoever goes to the bank goes back into Smartsheets and puts the deposit number or date on it. So I can see all the checks that go on one deposit slip. Okay. And then what we did was it's just a text file. We did a drop down. So I exported all the customers out to Excel and then into a text file. Anyway, I have a list of all the customers that we already have. So they're keying along, and then they go Smith comment, and it pops up right up into the S's and everything. If they don't exist, they hit new donor, and they keep on filling it out, name, address, and everything.
Right.
So we are doing, it was like 40, 50. It's almost 75 a month of these in a spreadsheet.
Wow.
We've learned how to cut and paste it into Excel right out of Smartsheets and flip over into Transaction Pro Importer, and in seconds we have all the sales receipts posted.
Nice. Nice.
So I showed the gals that. See, they're young. They're into all this technology. They want it all in the internet. They are organized, and they're artists. You know, they're creative, and you could just see their eyes. And I said, look, everybody just got a free Smartsheet account for 30 days, you know, because they want you to set it up for your kids' soccer team and stuff. So play away, make all the sheets that you can. I said, design what you want. One lady's in charge of all the advertising sales. We could sort it by leads versus sold, and
Right.
It was a great meeting to get on board who's going to do what. And then I told them about MineralTree, which is like bill.com. And I said, we're going to have all the bills go up there, because they've been attaching them to a smart sheet. I'm going to try to get as much away from the treasurer as possible. So, but I'll tell you what, that meeting went 2 hours. I didn't have to get in the car. Nobody had to come over. I mean,
Nice.
It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So what else have I done this week? Oh, 2 support calls. One of my college professors, who's a CPA, and he's semi-retired and lives out at the beach. That guy's technically a mess. But he called and he said his payroll is messed up. He did his 941. It said he was getting a refund. He tried to void a check last month. He thinks he messed it up. And he called support. They wanted $500. I said, stop. If they said $500, that's not into it.
Right, exactly.
Where did you get the support number? He said, well, I Googled. I said, He goes, no. I said, you let him in the machine? Rescue me. So they came into his machine. He said, they showed me all those reports about how corrupt my data is and all these error messages. And then they gave me a quote for like $1,400. I said, did you give him any money? He said, no, I called you. I said,
good.
Man.
Nice.
So I got in. I showed.
Been there, done this, and next time call me first.
Oh my gosh! So I said, just let me in, and it was what had happened. I can't remember how we figured this out, but he had because of the way he voided, where he zeroed out things instead of anyway. So, and then he paid her some checks. He just did it with a regular check just to get the poor girl paid. So anyway, it wasn't taking out taxes, not because it was corrupt. It's because year to date it thought that he had over withheld.
Oh, got it.
So I got all that fixed, and then redid his 941. Everybody's happy. There's nothing wrong with his data.
Good.
And, so that was
Didn't
good.
charge him $1,400.
That was my feel good, help the dude. And then he had one of the theaters call me this morning. Said, he said to call you because you're the best. And I'm like, great, okay. So it's like, and it's a little nonprofit. I'm like, damn. So she couldn't get in. I said, as it turns out, I think the password and the admin username was corrupt or something. Anyway, got her all situated and set up users. I said, everybody's using admin. No.
Oh my goodness.
We set up one for her treasurer, I said, Jamie, when you put your name in, I want your name in the audit trail.
That's right.
Showed her nobody goes through their preferences. What's up with that? If you buy software to do anything, I don't even care if it's just accounting, at least go through the setup.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We went through the setup. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I set it all up, got her icon up top, got her colors back. Oh, it looks like the old QuickBooks.
I know.
It was fun. So it's been a good week.
Good. Even though it wasn't a good start.
Yeah. So Monday, what do we got Monday? Monday we have electrician. We've got
Thank God for Facebook. We knew what was happening.
I know.
Right. And Brandon, we want to
see the picture of the hot water heater?
No, I saw the tree. I didn't see the hot water heater.
The element looks like this. I guess. How do you do that? It's a copper tube that goes in and comes back. It was shot out like an L.
Wow.
When the lightning hit the element, it went.
Yeah, I'll tell you, lightning if there's anything that will conduct it, it goes so fast.
And copper pipes are for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Brandon got his hair cut.
I know.
Yeah.
Brandon got a lot of hairs cut.
He looks like a high
All of it.
Well, because it's hot.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said.
I'd like to chop mine off this time of the year.
So Brandon is going to talk to us a little bit about the new CRM partnership.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the IRPs. Now, Brandon, is it just for the IRPs or is it for IRPs and our clients?
It is only for Premier IRPs. So there's authorized channel and there's Premier channel. They're only making this offer available for the Premier IRPs. So that's our channel. We're anybody that's affiliated with the ASG team certainly have their own account. So up to 5 users. So you're looking at I don't remember what the retail value is, but several $1,000s.
Yes, CRMs are very expensive, and what they're offering is amazing.
It is. It really is. Now, I did speak with, and I'm signing up to be a reseller. So you can be a referrer or a reseller once you get your hands on the product and learn about the CRM product. So it's really a win-win for them because they want us to use it. They want us to know how to use it and be able to make recommendations to our clients. They want us to use it, but they also want us to. Is what they're kind of a win-win thing, but.
That's the
There's
best way
money
to
in
learn software is to use it. So it's
right.
Smart for them.
Right. So the reseller and the training and consulting with the CRM package itself, it's going to be another revenue stream for us. But the integrations that they have with QuickBooks and with Outlook and with all the other software packages that they work with, we've been looking for something for the fact that Results has partnered with us to do that. Is phenomenal. It was perfect timing for us.
So it's called Results CRM.
Been around for a while.
Results, and what they've done. I mean, yeah, they've been around for a while, and their integration with QuickBooks is superb. They for the Premier IRPs, they've added on a couple of custom fields for CAN numbers for QuickBooks. Product numbers and license numbers so that we can track those and then so that we know that when our customers are sunsetting or we're saying all our customers and what year they're on, what versions they're on, we can do that as well.
So we can become a little bit more proactive with our clients. If the versions
Right.
are sunsetting, we want to let them know, hey, you're going to have to upgrade. You're going to have to, get some new software or your payroll is not going to work.
But or there's a super good promo coming out, or we know that it's out right now. We can look up the people, even if I'm setting, if they can't get it for that kind of price, we're going to say, hey, look, we know that you're expiring next year, but if you want to take advantage of this now, there's been a few cases like that I've been able to call a few customers, but now it's not going to be whether or not I remember. It's going to be, hey, I can look it up in the CRM and I can see who really qualifies, who this is a good deal for. Right,
absolutely. And it does give you a chance to look at what your clients are doing because they seem to make impulse decisions, Sarah, without having all the information. And you certainly want to be up to date with what they're doing and you want to be involved in the process to give them the correct direction also.
Right. And also, if you weren't on the call, anybody that wasn't on the call, they're also offering to host it. So you don't have to use your server to host it. They'll host it for you, and it still ties into your QuickBooks and your Outlook if you're using hosted Outlook. Or we're using Exchange or Outlook 365. Anyway, so it for us, we don't worry about that part either. So.
Nice. Very awesome from him.
You've got the recording. You still have the recording of the meeting, right? The webinar.
Yes, the original one is posted in the ASG forum,
okay. So
you can go back. It's got my name on it, but just go back and rewatch it. Or if you log in to the channel bridge, the second is almost identical. He goes into a little bit more detail and does a better walkthrough within CRM. Basically a better demo. He uses the same slideshow. So if you go into Channel Bridge and rewatch the third Thursday training, then you can see it there.
Do you think that, if we start using it really heavy, that, a year down the line or 2 years down the line that they're going to change their mind?
I don't think so.
Anybody talk?
I was not going to go there.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you take on any new solution, it is an investment. I don't care if you're not paying for the solution and time alone.
And it never crossed my mind to ask that question, but I'll throw it out there because it's worth asking. If I'm going to invest that time to get all the integration set up, if you could pull it, that would really suck. So.
Yeah. Right.
Get y'all hooked on it.
I can't see.
Or they say, hey, you're not selling enough, so you're not worth us keeping you on it. I don't know.
And yeah, and I think that's sort of what happened. It was kind of unspoken, but you know, the relationship, it was due to with Rebel. Rebel and Intuit are kind of parting ways. There's still some relationship there, but it's not much.
Yeah.
We can still refer the product out, but I don't remember what date it is, but we're not going to get paid for Rebel sales through Intuit. If you want to partner up with Rebel,
Oh, that's a shame.
you can still sell the merchant service and tie that back into Rebel and still get paid commissions on the merchant service sales, but parting ways. Now, kind of the spoken thing was there was management admin changes at Rebel, and what I heard in the background though was we need to be selling, like the Rebel was under the impression we were going to sell so much product based on our, so
got it. That didn't happen.
What I took away from it was Intuit's not selling enough, and it was really not for the IRP channel. We do POS, but Rebel really never took off for me. There's a handful of premier IRPs that did a lot of Rebel sales, but a handful of IRPs that are sales is not like 300 IRPs that are going to sell 2 or 3 or 5 a month.
Right.
So that would have changed the relationship completely. So.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's worth throwing out there, and I'll ask Gina to get with Sam and ask him about that. But and just make sure that relationship is solid.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now I can tell you, I had at the premiere QB Connect right after the IRP Connect that we had this last time. I did a one-on-one meeting with Sam and one of his programmers. We talked about the IRP using the CRM because they've been really trying to get us to go with the CRM. They said it would make or break our business.
That's what I thought this was about. I thought that Intuit was going to use a system, and I'm like, yay, new system. It's like, oh. So,
it's really,
that whole Channel Bridge system is like, for me not to be able to see how much the credit card's going to be hit. I mean, that in this day and age, they've got to figure that out. But
I do, just to let you know, so QuickBase is what you're talking about. Channel Bridge is the market pricing part of it.
Sorry, QuickBridge.
Yeah, so what I do, not knowing exactly what I try to figure out how much the credit card's going to get hit before we ever do it. Right. And then in the order, I put, hey, I expect this order to be $1,200.
Right.
If that's wrong, so in advance, that way, and they'll do that. If you put that in the order notes, I expect this to be exactly this amount. If it's not, let me know, and then we can regroup.
Okay.
So always
that note field is critical with all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And they read it. Yeah.
So, cool. As big as Intuit is, they still do everything manually. It's kind of a game changer. Yeah. When we put in orders, they've got Julia is usually on the back end doing those orders manually. It's crazy to think that they do everything that manually. Well, we're trying to. They're not automated.
Why don't they use this thing called QuickBooks?
Yeah, maybe QBO. I hear that's a cloud application.
But
they could set up that payment thing.
Yeah, don't they have like Intuit services or something like that?
And they still won't let us in there to provision our own account, so they don't trust us with the to go in there and say the customer has paid for this. Let's go ahead and set them up with a license number. They've got to do it on their end. So
yeah, I don't know.
Kind of sounds like the plumber's drains always plugged.
Spent a lot of time talking to Gina, and they've got 3 or 4 different systems when they have to start digging into a customer account, that their payments and their payroll are on one system, and then their QuickBooks like on another system. Orders are over. It's craziness.
But that's because it's how many years old is it? Was like the 80s, you know, so it's morphed and changed and
Right.
you know, and
Yeah,
legacy
they're tying multiple
still in
systems
there.
together, trying to make it work that way.
Yeah. Into it. So,
Do as we say, not as
So
we
yeah,
do.
if you get a chance, watch the CRM stuff, but take advantage, use the CRM for your own practice, as long as they're not going to jerk it out from under us. But
mhm.
we're hoping to turn that into an additional revenue stream.
Can you hook it up to like my what do you call that thing? Chimp monkey. MailChimp?
It does not work with MailChimp. It does work with Constant Contact.
Uh,
As far as I know, I've not seen anything. I know for sure that it works with Constant Contact. I've seen nothing that shows. It may have some kind of integration with MailChimp. I've just not seen yet.
because I would love to, you know, I've got the whole accounting side, but then all of my software sales, and I've got all those sales in Volusion that I would love to have in some sort of a, you know, so we're trying to figure out how to like either get that in from Authorized.net or whatever over to something or over to MailChimp. Oh, wonder if I can import, I don't know. Okay, I'll look at it. Because I'd like to have two databases, you know, I'd like to have clients, and then I'd like to have, you know, customers of my program. Yeah. Ooh, you know what? We've been talking to my program, and he wants to make an export for my trial balance program that's already configured for Transaction Pro Importer. We don't even have
Nice.
a .map file, and you just open up and import.
What a nice marriage.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I love Transaction Pro Importer. As a matter of fact, I use it monthly when they send this massive Excel file to it, or I download it out of for the merchant service payments before we start figuring out commissions for all you guys. I use that. I export the data file or export into Excel and then Excel into QuickBooks, and then we run commissions based on that.
Cool.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
And we actually used it monthly with an attorney that was working with a bank, mortgage broker. It was thousands and thousands of pennies on the dollar, but these guys were making tens of thousands of dollars a month on these penny transactions, but they had these Excel spreadsheets I don't even know for sure what they were doing. Our job was just to show them how to get it into QuickBooks. But it was finally talked with the programmer, and they made one flat file that we could export based on all these transactions on all these other pages. I said, I need a flat file in this one page so we can import into QuickBooks. I don't want to numbers. Let's export those out of the other sheets, and then we import into QuickBooks. It worked like a champ once he finally understood.
Nice. Nice. It's amazing when that happens. Now, are you importing to QuickBooks Desktop or online?
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Okay. Okay. So with Enterprise, you do have the ability, if you're importing 10,000 transactions, you want to make sure that you've got everything right before you hit that import switch.
But see, that's why TPI has checks and balances. An IIF file will, if it isn't perfect, you can trash your file. At least TPI will test it before it imports, and will go, sorry, it ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So that's
that did
pricey and everything.
Doing it. He forgot to put amounts in, so he had 100 and some transactions with no amounts.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and QuickBooks Online, you just don't have that backup feature. If you mess up in Enterprise or Desktop, you can go back and restore. You just don't have that in.
I've also got a deleter tool. I've imported hundreds of transactions and had to go back and say, all right, now let me go delete all those transactions and try it again. But
yep. Sometimes that's the way it is. even though you do have to do that import and then delete if you mess up, it's still quicker than hand entering all of those transactions.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So it is worth it is worth the time. So I did want to mention, speaking of QBO backup, Safety Net is no longer QBO backup. They've discontinued that. I know, another thing that's been discontinued.
Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, I know. I just saw the demo with Murph. Actually, it was the QBox desktop time.
Oh, that was, yeah.
So he says, what did he call it? Chronobooks. CHRONO, Chronobooks. And you can use that for QuickBooks Online backup. And that's one of Murph's recommendations. I wouldn't even check it out. If Murph says it's good.
Murph says it, use it.
That's right. Right.
He and Charlie are like top of the list for me.
Yes, exactly.
He told his whole life story and then said he was retiring again. He got all choked up.
I know. My heart, if I didn't love him before, I love him even more.
Really love him now. So he's been semi-retired the last year or so because I thought he wasn't senior editor. No, you know what? I'm thinking Charlie. Charlie backed off of being the editor of their weblog, but Murph has been senior editor of Woodard's.
The Intuitive Accountant?
Yeah, and he announced he was retiring, so.
Best of luck to him. We'll miss him.
Because these are the guys that they say it, you do it or believe it.
Oh my goodness. They have tested it out 20 times, up one side and down the other. And
good old fashioned they know what's going on in the bowels of the computer.
The tech, yeah.
That real tech.
Yeah, I love Mark. I've used him in the past. He's got a cabin in Arkansas, here in Arkansas that I'm not in Alabama, I'm in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, he told us about his cabin and he showed pictures. Right.
So I've used him and I called him one day. I said, Murph, I've got a corrupt data file. I need help. He said, I don't need anymore. I'm like, Murph, I need help. He sent me over to Shannon Tucker, and Shannon is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
I've used it multiple times.
Nice.
He also does not only corrupt data files, but he also does bringing people off of Enterprise, going back to Pro or Premier if you ever need that as well. But it's very, very good.
So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to add a feature to my trial balance exporter, and then we're going to get with Karen and we're going to do a video of how to, if you're starting a new data file in Enterprise or Pro or whatever, what to do and how to get all the history out of the old data file and then bring it in the monthly totals as journal entries. So you still have all your comparative work, but none of the transactions.
Right. So you can do your
question. Do you know anybody that does QuickBooks Enterprise file merge? I got two different data files. I want to merge them. I can do it myself. What a pain in the butt. If there's somebody that you know that's really good at that, I need.
I used a company in Texas. It's the guy that wrote the Q to Q program.
QCube?
Okay.
Well, yeah, my programmer uses it a lot.
He's got tools, and I've got them, but I'm looking for somebody to do it for us just so I don't have to tackle it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can do the reports at the end of the year, Enterprise does that.
Right.
You combine them.
Right.
But you want to combine them forever.
But you want to combine transactions.
Right.
You want to take two data files and put them into one.
That's correct.
So why can't TPI, why can't you like put in a beginning trial balance or you put in the beginning figures and then bring in all the activity with TPI? That's what you're talking about, it's a pain. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And
Yeah.
you have to be
exactly.
real careful and test.
Yep, and that's the reason. If there's somebody that's expert at it, then
You can't talk
what's
about
that,
it.
Linda? Oh, it's for me.
Linda,
Huh?
say what you said before.
Aren't they really big files? And if you put two big files together, won't they be huge? Or no?
They will be enterprise. It doesn't matter. I've not run into an enterprise file that's been too big for us to.
Murph has. That's
handle
what
that
he said yesterday.
If anybody has Murphys, Murphys.
Murph has found it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So the history on this particular thing is we've got our company file that we've been running for years. It's on enterprise, and then we've got merchant service long before we ever became an IRP with Intuit. So we were keeping all of that data in a separate file, never had plans on, and we didn't know that it was going to morph into a large part of our income. So we've got separate data files we've been using for years. Now, especially with the onboard of Result CRM, where you can attach a QuickBooks file to it, we want all of the data into one file, and it just makes sense to do that before we before we integrate the two. So,
Got
that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it would be nice if the CRM would allow you to use more than one QuickBooks file.
it asked a question, and no,
No.
and yeah, I thought about it, and I did ask the question, but no, and I don't think that's even in the works. That would be a pain.
Right. I'm just thinking of clients that do have multiple companies. I do know there are many of them out there.
Yeah. So,
For our purposes, I could see for a lot of the companies that I know that have separate QuickBooks files have separate entities, separate EINs. You
Right.
don't want to merge for IRS purposes, but we're all one entity. But it makes sense for us to merge the two, and we could even go tracking if we want to or something like that. But it just makes sense for us to do that.
Got it.
well, Brandon, I referred you to a company called Skylane. It's it used to be part of Sage and payroll and that, and
Yep.
they wanted somebody that was good with POS. So I referred.
He did. Yeah, I appreciate that too. I talked to him yesterday, and have since talked to his customer, and we're going to go back a couple times. It looks like, because what the customer wanted, what the customer really wants, is a couple different things. But we'll get to the bottom of it. We appreciate the referral.
I told them that I've actually used you with a number of clients and that you're very good. So I know
I
you're
appreciate
always
that.
that you have to reach a certain number of sales every single month. So I try to send people your way.
Well, are we in danger of losing our premier level now that they've bumped it up so high?
Nope.
Good.
No, not even close.
Okay.
I'm hoping we hit the 100,000 is still out there, the 100K club, and we're still in it easy. I'm hoping we hit the 250K on the next year, and then hopefully going up. I think with the bringing on the CRM, I think we'll put it'll give us an advantage. I look at the numbers, I'm pretty competitive. So out of, I know that there's $6 million producers in the Premier IRP channel. We are number 9 in the whole channel, and 6 of those are Premier $1 million producers.
Wow.
So,
Do you network with them?
what's that?
Say, do you network with them or talk with them or get some tips?
Only a little bit. Some of them are kind of hush hush. Some of them are a little bit more liberal with what they do in their practices.
You should start your own Zoom group with them.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I need to figure out a way to make that happen.
All righty, we are almost out of time. Actually, we're a little over time at the moment. Was there anything that anyone wants to talk about before we end?
Let me just say, I put the question out there, Sarah, to Gina while we were talking, the other Gina, our Intuit, and she's going to email Sam and carbon me on it. So we'll get a response directly from the people that are making the decisions at results.
Okay.
Nice. Let us know how to get involved in that CRM also. I mean, who do we have to contact to get set up?
You give me just a second. I'm going to stick it in the chat for you. I've already got it.
Nice. Thank you. Okay.
Just because Carl stuff where okay.
Now, just so I did that privately to Larry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Results. Okay.
Only the people that are a Premier IRP, so only the people on our team can use that. So.
Yeah, I'm not on your team. It's okay.
You should be, Linda. I don't know why you're not.
It was because I don't really want to sell anything, and I don't want to get into selling it, so I just refer off to anyone of you on Brandon's team, depending on what it is. So that's just a personal thing. That's all. You know how you meet people and they don't want to be on Facebook?
That's okay. I'm just thinking that there's a lot of perks that you could be getting.
No, there is not a lot of purchases I could be getting. I probably refer
like a CRM program.
6 people a year all around your team, and that's it. And it's like, what can I say? I must say, next week I'll share. Are we off now?
No. We'll wait a couple minutes then. And we'll end for today. And we'll see you all next week, same time, same place.
Have a great weekend.